All right, class. So this is just a quick tutorial on how to use the couple of applets that we're going to be playing with. This is the first one. It's called Stellarium. You're going to want to click on the web version. Um, you can download it and play with the downloaded version, but for the purposes of this lab, I think the web version are good enough. So you can see here, it knows where I am. It knows that I'm in Ann Arbor. It has the time. We're going to be playing around with those things in this lab. There's a lot of different things that this will do for you. I'm just going to hide this for right now. You may sometime later come back in here to switch some settings. So for example, like you may need to figure out where the ecliptic is or where the meridian is. So anyways, um, I'm going to hide that for now. Just a couple of things to kind of just so that you're familiar with what's going on. You can drag the sky around. You can zoom in and zoom out. For some of the stuff that you're going to be doing, just seeing it in this view is probably good enough. But for a lot of the questions, you're going to want to, like, I drag down on the screen a little bit. You can pivot this so that north, whoop. Yeah, this is also weird. Like, I can look under the horizon. So this is me seeing like, oh, here's all the constellations that are blocked by the horizon, or you can flip this back up. And so this is kind of like, this is everything you can see. This is all the way around the horizon, everything you can see above you. You can slap the constellations on there. You can put their images on there. Lots and lots of stuff you can do. You can turn the atmosphere off, which is kind of cool. Turn the landscape off. Azimuth Grid, this is going to be really helpful for you for some of the things you're going to do. You're going to be plotting altitudes and azimuths. For azimuth, right, this just gives you the grid right here. North, can you even see those numbers? Hold up, let's get north. Whoop. Want north on top. There we go. You can't see this really well, but right up there you can see that north is labeled as 0. It's marking this one as 345, right? Azimuth measures around 360 degrees. And so this is how you get your azimuth marking. So for example, there's the North Star right there. Notice it's on this north line. So it has an azimuth of approximately 0 degrees. And right, if I wanted to look at this star, here's the Big Dipper. If I wanted to look at this star and the Big Dipper, that has an azimuth of 330 degrees. And then if I wanted to get their altitudes, altitude is measured from the horizon up to the middle of the sky. That point in the middle of the sky there is called the zenith, right? So 0 degrees altitude, 90 degrees altitude. So for example, this star here at the top of the Big Dipper, so if that's 0 and that's 90, then halfway is 45. And so this is close to, oh, I don't know. I'm just kind of guesstimating here a little bit. But I don't know, 35-ish degrees altitude. But you don't have charts or marks for the altitude measurements. That you just kind of have to guesstimate based on how close it is either to the horizon or to the middle of the sky. Some of the other things you're going to be playing around with, which I think is kind of fun, is you can mess around with the time. So for example, I can say, okay, you can set it to a given date, and I can grab this and I can say, okay, let's go forward. Let's jump an hour, and you can watch what the sky does. Or you can make it jump forward just by minutes, and notice now the sun's rising, right? And down here you can see that we're moving into the daylit side, or I can go backwards in time. I can go backwards out. Anyways, you can change the date. So you're going to be playing around with the time and talking about the different changes that you see. The other thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be messing around with the location. So you'll click on this here in Ann Arbor, turn off use auto location, and then on this map, you can zoom out and you can change your locations. You can say, okay, this is what the night sky looks like above Ann Arbor. Well, what if I zoom way out and what does it look like if I'm here. Oh, shoot. I know how to do this. I gotta zoom back out. You grab the pen. I'm gonna move the pen way up here. Say, okay, well, what does the sky look like if I'm here? Now use that location. And then everything changes. And you're gonna want to come, and if you look, right, there's almost no night, right? Because we're so high north. So we'd have to, let's turn the atmosphere off. Now we can see. But yeah, so these are some of the things that you're gonna mess around with and play around with in this part of the lab, just to give you a quick tutorial on how some of those tools work. The other applet you're gonna be working with is this one. So there's a bunch of useful information here on this front page that you can kind of look at. The interactive is in here. And then in here, right, you can see the Earth and the Sun. And clearly the sizes and distances here are not to scale. But you can move the Earth around, okay? And you can see how at these certain locations where they're measuring, right, if you go back to here, they're showing there's the Chicago line, there's the Anchorage line. But so at these different locations that they're tracking, they're showing you what the temperature is and the number of hours of daylight that those locations have. Okay, and we can see how all that changes as you march the world around the sun. And you can also adjust the tilt of the planet and march things around and look to see how things change. And so there's a bunch of different things that you can kind of click on and change in here. You're going to be collecting data on this and answering some questions and kind of thinking about how the seasons work and what governs all of that. So these are the two interactives we're using. Best of luck in the lab. And if you have any questions, either email me or come to the lab session on Tuesday and we'll talk about it. Thanks, everybody.